Okay, let's start. I think it should work. It's been a while since I streamed Minecraft. It still is called Toorvond Isles. It has to be renamed to Toorvond. So I was working on this. Seems like because music has like two settings, too low, too loud. I'm kind of done with like this section of this area. Well, at least what I can do here. Like it will not stay in this area. It will move to somewhere one in those wind directions. But entities and such don't really do a good job of transferring any more nibs yet. So yeah, because for example, there will be a office slash living quarters up here, and I can't really decorate that until it's on the right correct position. So I want to start on the next one. Let's do that. And the way we're going to do that is actually kind of simple. First we're going to carve. Well, first we're going to fill this with stone. 64 by 64 area. 63. Like I said, 64 by 64 area. Oh, thanks. Oh, well, yeah. Hi. Don't really know what to say. If you check, if you're just coming in to check in really quick. Then we go into brushes, and we're going to replace stone with air. Can't see my keyboard. Should probably run the blind type. Yeah, and this is on a brush, so we can carve out what we don't want. So even though these boxes are more like a guideline at this point, first I want to use structure blocks like I did in the very first version of Corrupt Isles. This will be yeah, more of a guideline. Still like the restriction, so we got gonna build the sides. That's for sure. Okay, and I want this area is basically made with one cutout and just copied a lot of times. This one will have multiple layers, so it will have a solid ground, and then up on top of that we will do the same thing, same mechanic. So we get a bit of the mesa kind of feel to it. Like those areas are just carved out. Some big brushes, you know, got some round things, some etc. These areas need a little bit of a different approach. Luckily, there's a very handy filter to do this stained clay stuff. So yeah. So I don't want to make it too symmetrical. Obviously. So I haven't heard anything yet from the rounds guys. It has been 9 days and nothing. And it's really funny. Today I found somebody retweeted a message from Mark, from one of the leads of like the content for rounds. And I was like, well, maybe, you know, they are moving offices, so that could also be the problem. But so I was like, well, you know, let's check out. Maybe there's been a thing, an announcement of some kind. But no, there was no announcement. To the contrary, he actually asked for well, more maps, as for like, hey, we can you can always submit maps to rounds. Just do it on the Reddit. And I was like, well, I just did. But I haven't heard anything back from you yet. Not even if if you guys are looking at it or not. And they don't do that with anyone. They don't say that they're working on it for anyone. So I know that that's really a thing. Would be nice though if they just said, oh yeah, we received it, seen it, we're working on it. No. Be patient. Okay, I think this is a good landmass. So what we then do is just grab this. Clone it for about 17 times. That's correct. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I'll do 15 times. Takes a little while. Takes a second. So now we have this. Then we're gonna do the same. Well, technically we're gonna do the opposite. And I think we're gonna use a different block because this is using, you know, stone on stone doesn't really give a good contrast, especially if you're working with like a one high dimension. Yeah, so the idea is gonna be to make a canyon, the two sides of a canyon. And like serious shit is going down, seriously. Anyway, like two canyons, and in the middle will be a little lava lake. I think. Let's just get started. Just see what we can do. Oh boy, yeah, we don't want. Oh, hold up. No, are they? They're hanging over a little bit. We can fix that afterwards. Actually, I want it to be near this edge. Yeah. So that's been very stormy again. Hello, person that just entered the chat room. It just, yeah. What was I saying? Right. So something came to the news today. Our government is stopping lobbyists from being free roaming in the government building, which the lobbyists are, of course, against. They find it a restriction of their freedoms. But most people are kind of happy about it because, for example, they cancelled a taxation for like all profits you make in the Netherlands, and it wasn't even in any of the party's guideline books. And they cancelled it because some companies said it would be good for business. But hey, I guess that's what you get when you have a right party government coalition. Yeah, okay, that looks good. I don't know what's for me personally. I've been a bit tired lately. Like I sleep my 8 hours and everything, but still just want to go to bed at 8 AM basically. Which I don't do because I know then things are gonna be 8 PM. Sorry, but things are gonna get even worse if I do that. So, yeah. There's that. Thankfully the weather will be a little bit less tomorrow, so cycling through it won't be too bad. Like basically everything below wind power 5 is fine by me. It even was a bit scary, a bit eerie when we had a few weeks ago we had like wind power 1 or 0. And it was just scary, like there was no wind at all. I mean, I live near the coast. I mean, I live 15 kilometers from the coast. It's near the coast, it's near the coast, right? I mean, those people have a weird sense of distance. Like we find a 2-hour drive, a very long drive that you only make in emergencies or birthdays or Christmas. You don't just go on a weekend to southern Netherlands. Hey, oh, I have a good lurk. Well, and I'm just gonna do my thing. It's always funny, like somebody was moving and said it's only 8 hours away from my home ground. I'm like, only 8 hours away? Jesus, I'm like halfway across. Well, where am I actually? I'm in France somewhere. So no, no, we have a weird idea for direction, for speed. Oh, so now comes the fun part. I'm gonna trim all this so it fits perfectly. But because we just saved it, it should be all lit. Honestly, if MC Edit was already updated for 1.13, I would be playing already in 1.13. Why aren't the blocks here? Come on. No. Also, that also came to light today, that the 1.13 update is merging with the 1.14 update. So what I believe that means is that the 1.13 update is going to be released later, but the 1.14 update is going to be released sooner because of that. So I hope in the next coming weeks we will see like real features of that. I am hoping actually for turtle shulker boxes. That will be the size of like a skull and can hold 9 items, 9 stacks of items. Okay, come on, guy. Come on. Oh, there you go. That normally doesn't happen. It must be because I'm streaming. So yeah, I am actually getting a bit worried seriously about my realms submission. Because it has been 9 days and it's a very short map, and I believe somebody else in the community also submitted their map with like, what, 7 rows I believe? They already had feedback like 2 days from now, and my map is like only 2 hours long in comparison. But theirs is like 10 hours. Or maybe no, maybe they will come back to me and say, well, no, 1.13 is closed, so we don't accept anything at the moment. Which I would find a bit weird, to be honest. Although maybe if we go back into the game, there are some bells and whistles I will add in this map that I'll also add in Corrupt Isles when I update it to 1.13. Because I'm more like now shared it on the Realms subreddit because I just want to know if they're interested in the format at all. Like if they now say, well, we don't want this on Realms at all, like okay, fine, then I'll just update it for other people. I know I could have waited until 1.13 to release it, but then I would be in the same boat. They would give me notes and feedback, and I would then have to update it. Yeah, this project also had me a lot of time just like nervous about it. Like, should I even really start making this, or should I wait until it all just blows over and I know for sure if they would want it or not? And I still have my doubts if the map is too big or not. It's kind of stupid because like there are huge areas in other maps. So let's do 17. That's a bit much, to be honest. It will all be eroded, obviously, but no, like these little edges will also still have to be added. So it's just a little bit of a... It's actually saved. Now we have apparently 131 edits made. Let's swap it again and let's make it stone again. Let's increase this with a bit. And let's now make this more in the middle. So no longer really following the contours of the other area. That's not what I want. I want it to be smooth with it. Not one up there. So I have some music on. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Like the music are basically two settings. It should be music made by AI, which is kind of interesting. No, they will soon take over everything, apparently. Now, about like future stuff, I've been wondering for a long time, like when will the first book be written on Mars or something, or on the moon, that is not a science fiction book? Like if it, or that's also a question, is it always a science fiction book if it's written on Mars or on the moon or in space? I mean, for us now it will have science fiction elements, but for them, you know, replacing an air filter will be, you know, not science fiction, or getting in the buggy or putting on a spacesuit. For them it will be reality. So I can't wait, honestly, to read the first story written on another planet. That is not, it's not science fiction. Just a good old, you know, fictional drama or something. Or I wonder what kind of fairy tales there will be arising on other planets as well. It's actually kind of funny. The Netherlands apparently has no mythical creatures at all. Like one, like you know, some witches. Like you know, if you have a little stream and like foggy outside, but there's only fog on the stream, like those are apparently like witches. But like they're so, the lore on them is so double-sided. Like one side of the people say they're evil, the other people say they're friendly. And other than that, you have some goblins, and that's about it. You have the boogeyman, but every culture has that. To be honest, I'm surprised we don't have anything else, because we live in a country that is like swampland, period. Everywhere are swamps. Like there must have been kids and people that have wandered out into the swamp and got stuck and has been sucked under and drowned or something, and nobody said, oh wait, it is this and this creature that does that. I mean, for example, the Scottish Kelpie would actually fit really well in the Netherlands if you think about it. Okay, and do I want to have a center pillar? I already have a center pillar here. Do I then want to do it also here? Oh, you're right, I can't create that shape. That's in a future update, I guess. Okay, so we have this. Sort of what I wanted. Yeah, almost. There's one thing I think maybe a bridge would be very cool over here. So, what's about the center out here? Also, let me just turn that thing off. Time to messages off. There we go. Oh, what did I do? That's fine. Didn't do anything. I've this image in my head. I don't know if it comes familiar to you guys at all, but like it was this game called Firewatch, I think it was called, and there was like this bridge thing. Over a canyon and such, inside a canyon. Kind of want to recreate that a little bit here. Okay, one high. That's the whole bridge. Clone it. Oh yeah, now we're getting somewhere. So, I also do feel that this one is maybe a bit smallish. Honestly, in comparison to these, they are both very small. But then again, these use a lot of air. Like they're basically hollow inside. There's a lot of airspace. I feel a bit unsure about having this be the same size now. I guess erosion will fix that. Hopefully. Yeah, so we will have a sky bridge and yeah. This is still, like I said, a very rough idea. But for example, I know for a fact there will be caves down here. In this hole, in this big section. Not necessarily mine shafts. Those might not make it in here. But let's just... Let's for one remove the end stone. Which has to be okay, that looks a lot better already. If you just remove the end stone. No, I must say I always find it difficult, you know, having like this emptiness and then have to imagine what it will be. Well, I'm not sure yet exactly what it will be. I am thinking maybe a little town on top. Some buildings. Then a more dangerous underground. And this is also part of the underground, like yeah, so there will be sand, there will be desert in here with lava lake. And the city will be built on top of this hard canyon. And then there will be cave accesses down here for the player to easily cross over. Because this is also still a like the distance between the boxes is also gonna go. The idea is now to have 6 blocks from, say, last block. From the barrier, 6 blocks until the first block of the new area. Because that's the reach of the player. So about, you know, this is the farthest block. So then 6 blocks from here would be the barrier, and then 6 blocks from the barrier would be this. So the player would have to bridge 13 blocks. It is a bit more than in the previous one, but it will keep the barrier a bit away. You know, it will not be in their face the whole time, which is a little bit better. And also give an item that gives knockback resistance relatively early, I guess. Okay, let's see how it's looking in game. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the right corner. I always go Control Q in MC Edit while that just closes the whole program. I know what I want to do. Yeah, not sure. Well, to be honest, I like the flat top, like this area. I think it's a nice height. It's a nice size, you know. I can put a couple of like buildings here, not to make it too overwhelming. How is the player gonna go down? Don't know, not a clue yet. Probably not a ladder. Maybe it will. And then down there will be a bit of a big lava lake with red sand and such around it, because it is covered by the winds and stuff. It's like packed in, and there'll be cave entrances all around. Yeah, so it's a bit bigger than this one. Yeah, considerably bigger, I guess, because this one also has a big area in the middle, which is all air. Oh, it shouldn't really matter. Like, that's my biggest worry about this whole project, is that the player is gonna find it too big to do all this. Like, it's too big of a map to you know, spawn in. For example, this player will spawn in here in this one, and then to explore all of this to find the crystal. Even though, and to do that 3 times or 6, 12 times. So we have 12 times in total. Well, I know that's probably not the case, because they're massive dungeons, and this is a very more simplistic area, because I never hide the hide the crystals. You know, you don't have to look like the emeralds in Corrupt Isles. You don't have to look like a special way around the edge or something to find it. This crystal, for example, is Down. Down here. So it's out of the way. But it is findable. Like if you just go everywhere, you should find it. So this area is also not done, like I said. Has to be a bit more mined out. Oh, alright, yeah. Wondering why was there a double slab there? And then you can continue onwards to this. I think I can make this work. This is a nice shape. I can make taller buildings as well. So yeah. Not sure yet if I want to have a difficulty curve or not. In one way I kind of do, and in one way also I think maybe I am making this map too small for what I want to do with it. Because this is the spawn island and house, and you will get like this room to work with, all the storage. This will go because this will become a glass block you can break for your basic starting gear. You got some wood, some coal. Then if you continue upwards, you have the monument. Oh, there's also something I need to ask because I want to do the trick, you know, the floating wool block here. And then when the player selects the wool block, it has to disappear. So it can place it. I know I can do that. I know how to do that. What I don't know is how do I stop it from, you know, if you drop an item somewhere. Oh, if you drop an item somewhere, and you then place a block on top of it, it shoots off. And if you don't have any gravity on it or whatever, it just will continue flying off. So I have to figure out how to do that. And as you can see, there's actually room for improvement, for biggerness, if I want to. If I decide to do more achievement, more advancement, more objectives, that's the word I was looking for. I can nicely do like 8 of them without it feeling crowded. Like if I do, I can also use these 2. And I kind of feel that this one falls a bit away. And then if you go even higher up, a little farm area. It's probably the only water source block in the game. It's blue red carpet. And trust me, this building will not be stone bricks in the released version. It will be all smooth stone slabs. Because I really like that block. But like this is, for example, one of those rings and bells and oh my god, bells and whistles to add. Like if you break this glass, the portal will open. And this is the only thing I have to disable. So this will always be on, but this, for now, this activates it. This will be also part of this line, but it will then get removed by air. So say we trigger it, it will turn into air. Huh? Right, I guess I didn't completely fix it. Completely finished the system. Yet. Oh. So I did some smaller things over the working with it. And now let's continue with this. Also, the day is like this because this is the perfect daytime for my what I do anyway. At exactly this time, zombies and skeletons stop burning, so I can use them freely. And it's also not that dark outside, so you don't have to torch everything up. Which is always kind of annoying, especially if you have a map that doesn't use any spawners. No, then you still have to light everything up. Is that really necessary? So, yeah. Let's see if we can do some small stuff over here for these islands. I mean, these are taller, but like I said, there are a lot of areas in them. A lot of narrow passages. Technically, we could just check it out, how many blocks it has, and how many blocks those cubes have. Yeah. So here you spawn in here, and there is a bedrock block here, so that if the player would just destroy all of this down here, they will always spawn safely. Same is actually the case for over here. Also a bedrock block right here. No idea if these fences will stay though. Like no idea. I am always afraid to start eroding stuff because it always it doesn't always go as you want. A lot of the time it just gets messy and such. No. Because if I do a road, for example, and do this. Okay, so far so good. Doesn't look too bad. I just feel that these brushes also have like their own, the way of their own. They just, sometimes they work and sometimes they just completely create different shapes, sizes. Like this, for example. Why does this suddenly get all? Why did that suddenly all get destroyed? Or that, for example. Let's actually put the spacing up a lot so I can't mess up. Technically. Yeah, so I'm not looking for big cliff type deals. Just looking to not make it straight. And one of the things of these maps is that it's a good and fun, nice thing that I can do a lot of things by hand still. And that's not work that is like completely useless and completely tedious. But also a bad thing because I will do a lot of things by hand. Like this island, for example, most of these erosions I made more natural how I wanted to see them. So far, no, this doesn't look great. Ah, I started there. Okay. So this is basically the only area that has to do both sides. Like that. Yeah, but for example, these things I will pull down again when I finally get in there. Most of these, to be honest, even. So this is one of the more lesser fun things about map making. Oh, yeah, we still have an issue. And then the bottom one underneath here, which will mostly, which I'm a little bit more go with, like just, you know, can be a little bit more messy down here. Thing is hovering for, no, it's hovering in midair, and if I'm correct, the player should never be able to see this bottom side, so but still, let's do another row just to be sure. There we go. Hold up. Yeah, I already see that this will also have a little bit of a... Also, all needs a little bit of a touch. Like, I don't like these one-handing these one freestanding hanging blocks, for example. You know, for example, this is a bit too straight. Those are all things we'll do in game. But the idea is, this is also, I believe, about 80 blocks tall. Like, this is my ground level, where I will align the dungeons at, and then we go all the way down. It's 71-ish blocks. So I might have to make these a little bit lower. Although they will probably, how far will I make them? I was thinking about 50 blocks. Oh, that's actually really close. No, let's go 100 then. Minimal. So that will even be a little bit farther. Because, yeah, so then here the dungeons would be located. I think. I just know. This all just still has to be done later on. Like a lot of things will just be made and not happen in the map at all. Like this building, for example, will probably not be anywhere. Or like this tutorial thing I made, also probably not make it. It's also still something I have to ask, because all my whetstone room is down. This is all my room that I basically have for redstone contraptions. That's not enough. Should we possibly understand? So I have to also find something out, figure something out for that, to just have more room for things. Especially like if I want to have a tutorial for the player. Like, where am I gonna put a tutorial? Technically I was thinking, why don't I just put it straight under the building. Maybe I will still do that. I don't know. So far this looks nice. This is a good start. Yeah, so this will be mostly flat. Probably will make a little landscaping thingy over every here or there. Let's hop back into the game. So it looks like. Okay, that is not too great. Like I said, you know, all these things I will all just pull again downwards. I don't find it very canyon-like. No idea if that's even true or not, but I don't find it very. How is he looking? So I don't mind too much about. Yeah. It could be that I miss a spot here or there, like it's possible. Absolutely possible. Well, this, for example, is a bit of a bigger case, right? Does this go all the way down or not? Or like, it is now a very flat surface again. Go there. Oh. And just like that. And of course this is a bit of the issue. This is a bit of an interesting issue, right? Because there are no up or down right here. So one of the things I want to do is add a little bit of a spine. Just a little. Little curve. So it looks a little bit supported. So I really hope I get some answers, some feedback this week, because I really want to just make it make corrupted isles better, and just see what I can do. Like, I find personally Corrupted Isle my best map I ever made so far. Anyway, like, I'm not the best map maker, so I heard a lot of interesting things, or like about Cupian Isles as well. People liked it. I think it was more the concept of flying around that people enjoyed, but like the area was so ugly. It was all just no, let's not do that. It was all just pink concrete. Like, that's not really nice. Almost. That hasn't been my most downloaded map by far. Like, this is kind of funny as well. Like, my first map I ever made is like 1300 downloads. And that map must have sucked, but I must have made it, I guess, in like the CTM Gold Rush days. And no, people wanted it. Wanted to play bad maps, I guess. Although, I must have feedback from that map did get me to continue mapping. Like, was somebody, maybe it was somebody from the CTM community who's still here, I don't know. But they left a very kind feedback, like, oh, it was an interesting map, playable. I think you know, make a good, or make some good maps in the future. Because I knew somebody in real life who also wanted mapping. I said, well, I will work a little bit on it, and I will post some screenshots, and if then I get like a few hundred likes, I will make a map. And I was like, that's not how it works. But now any of this works. To be honest, I currently, like the last few years, I only made maps, I guess, for the CTM community basically. I never shared them much on any other sources, really, like just all it's just all on no, the Discord, and that's about it. It might have ended up in a list somewhere on the forums, but yeah, I haven't made a real forum thread in a long time. Okay, let's. Oh, what was that? This is lag spike. Interesting. So maybe I would. Holy, no lag spike. I don't really have lag that much. I even actually play right now on a lesser viewer distance than I normally play. Normally I have my viewer distance like 20, and now I think about it, I have it on 10 because I had somebody leave a comment, a bug on Corrupted Isles, telling me that something didn't work, and I wasn't sure what was not working. Like, everything worked for me. I downloaded the map from the same link and everything, and for me everything worked. So I asked them more about what the issue was, and they said, well, I found the crystal and I broke it, but nothing happened. And later on it turned out that they didn't break the crystal, they broke the glass for the bonus emeralds and thought that was the crystal. Which I, in a future update, that is fixed. That's a misconception. They will have lime stained wool, lime wool carpets on them instead of like glass. make clear that it's not a crystal. So then you will have, instead of I'm a very big of a dropper fan. I like the dropper texture, although I think I liked it more in the older version of Minecraft. Yeah, and it then used to be the bonus emerald to look like this. But the crystal, even though it is not a lime green crystal, but still, it's also the same. It's also stained glass, so that didn't work. That was apparently confusing, so I made it lime carpet. Not sure if this map will have a bonus objective. I kind of want to, but on the other hand, well, I don't need night vision really. There isn't like a nice number to work around with. You know, like there are 12 sections, 4 dungeons. I mean, I could do something stupid like the brick block, you know, in every dungeon I will hide a brick, and the 4 bricks together make a brick block, and the brick block is the bonus objective. That would be silly. I think. Excuse me. Oh, well, at least I made some progress. I made more progress than I made in the last few days. I don't know, the last few days I also I've been streaming more because I want to stream, and I just stream what I want to stream, and not because, well, this will probably give me this is probably what people will like. No, I've been streaming things I want to play, I want to do. So even if people don't like it, I'm just gonna stream it. If I want to stream it, anyway. So yeah, so I think we made some big progress. That's also gonna do it for today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys next stream. Bye.